Hello, children. This is our storybook. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Once upon a time, 2,000 years ago, a geezer called Hippocrates was born in Greece, in a little town called Kos. Or was it Iceberg? You choose. Hippocrates, or Hippo to his friends, was the big daddy of modern medicine. Hippo said that we all got ill naturally and not because God said so, and that when we did get ill, we would have a crisis and die, or we wouldn't. Now, the people who had God on their side put Hippo in prison for 20 years, which was a long time in those days. But Hippo didn't waste his time playing with his Spirogyra. Instead, he wrote a book called The Complicated Body. I wonder, do you have a complicated body? I think so, because if you do nothing but play with your Wii and stuff your face with McShitty burgers, you'll turn into a hydrogenated stool, which is not to be sat on. Now, if you don't understand, ask a parent, guardian or carer to draw you a picture. Now, ages later, a plague of rat fleas sailed over from China and hopped and skipped and sucked and nipped their way across Europe, and half the people died of Black Death. Poor, poorly people. There was no one to give them an MMR jab or a flu jab. Little did they know that in the future one could get a prick anywhere for just about anything. Many hundred years later again, in London town, some clever men in horn-rimmed glasses invented the National Health Service because they wanted to get their glasses for free. Having an NHS meant that everybody could have their own doctor and glasses and be ill for nothing up to and including the benefit scroungers. For many long years, the merry people of Britain hopped and skipped and limped and tripped all the way to the hospital because it was priceless. Then one autumn day in the east, a little girl was born, and it became winter. She grew and became as strong and as firm and as hard and as ruthless as iron, so they called her the Iron Lady. Early one morning, she snatched the milk from under the children's noses and she stole the bread and butter from their parents just to make her ends meet. Then, in the dead of night, this wicked witch from the east cast a spell on the NHS, and it got weaker and weaker. She flew over the hospitals on her blowpipe, cackling, "Privatise, privatise." But her magic wasn't working, so in a fit of pique with a single swipe of her handbag, she made the matrons disappear. Bye-bye, matrons. Do you know what a matron was? She was a kind lady in a special blue dress and a cocky white hat who shouted at everyone if she found urine and feces on the sheets. If you don't understand, ask a parent, guardian or carer to draw you a picture. So now the National Health Service is sick. How do we make it better? That's a very good question, and one that deserves an answer, which we'll read about next time. So, what have we learnt from this story? Simply this. Don't sit around on your lazy fat arse. Get a job and save all your pocket money so that when you have a serious fall at work and have to get yourself to hospital on that bicycle you stole and later find yourself lying on a trolley for 6 hours in a hospital corridor waiting for a nurse to come and wipe your wee-wee and feces off the wall, you will be able to afford to pay the costs of the court case when you are arrested, charged and convicted of grievous bodily harm, having beaten the out of the doctor who had the temerity to ask you how you were feeling. I'm being satirical. Or is it facetious? You choose. Bye-bye, children everywhere.